So Thursday, it's D-Day, for the lack of a better way to put it, and more. There was another document dump, and of course, these memos showing that the compound detail staff, I mean, they numerous times, more so than we were ever really told in the media, they were relaying their concerns to the State Department. They knew things were unsafe. They had made repeated requests to have their resources at least shored up, to have some sort of security expansion, none of which was ever really answered.
Absolutely, Dana. Great to be with you again. Yeah, this was just one more batch of information that confirms what we already knew, that they had failed to protect Chris Stevens at the Special Mission Compound. And there had been several incidents over the course of the year, enough so that the British and the Red Cross had pulled out. Our compound had been hit a couple times, and of course there was that August 16th memo pleading for more security. And all we had was the February 17th Martyrs Brigade, a jihadist group that was there to protect them, and our own diplomatic security people on the grounds were told, store your weapons in another room. The whole thing is insane.
Yeah. And apparently not only were State Department officials who were working there, not only were they concerned, but the Libyan landlords themselves who rented these two villas, which comprised a large portion of this compound, they were also concerned. In fact, it was reported, and you guys looked at this as well, that one of the landlords had demanded more money for rent, and the other wanted to be released from the rental agreement in the summer preceding the attacks. They knew something was coming. They knew that this was not a safe area.
Absolutely. The idea that this was spontaneous based on this YouTube video is absurd and was disproven, but that's just one of a series of scandals related to Benghazi, and it goes back all the way to the beginning, the year before, and we've documented this with our Citizens Commission on Benghazi, and I urge people to take a look at it. At aim.org/Benghazi, we have a full interim report that really lays this out, and not that much has changed since we put it out there. There's only been things that have added to it, but it has stood the test of time. And I can go into some of those details if you'd like.
Yeah, and to that as well, I mean, what gets me about this, Roger, is, you know, and with what your commission has been able to discover, with all of the concerns from multiple people, and not even just the State Department officials who were there, that were presented to the State Department. The CIA had produced 4 dozen pieces that you revealed, 4 dozen pieces, confirmed intel, showing increased threats against Westerners, Americans in Benghazi. They had documented more than 20 attempted attacks, and yet all of this. And why the refusal to at least give them, to fortify the compound and plug up these security weaknesses?
Well, it's a very good question. You have to recall the timing was 2 months before a presidential election. They were trying to claim Libya as one of their success stories. And there was also the whole bit about the weapons that were being gathered up that had actually been brought into Libya and supplied to al-Qaeda affiliated groups to overthrow Gaddafi, leaving this Mad Max location that Libya has now become. So again, that's just part of it. The going into Libya in the first place after Gaddafi had offered to negotiate his abdication. And then, of course, the other thing is the dereliction of duty, the failure on the day of the action of the September 11th into September 12th, failure to bring the military assets that were well within range to try to rescue or save these people.